Energy renewed, supplies replenished, and we can continue on our way. There are 2 more mountain ridges to overcome until our destination. I'll revisit a bit of history for a moment yet again. When the Spaniards first arrived here, the natives were living at a Stone Age level. They didn't have any metals available on these volcanic islands. They didn't know how to write, and surprisingly, they didn't know how to navigate the seas either. Because of that, their origin on the islands, as well as their history, are shrouded in mystery that we will probably never be able to decipher. Along the way, we will come upon artificially heaped mounds of rocks. They are remnants of the natives' watchtowers. Fernández de Lugo, conqueror of Tenerife, mentions them in his records as places that he visited. However, according to his records, they were already in ruins at that time. That was in 1503. One pleasant surprise awaits me along the way. All of a sudden, it appears in the pine forest, a picnic area called Castillo de Lara. You can find similar picnic spots on all of the Canary Islands. There's everything you might need for a proper picnic. A playground, a place to sit, as well as a grill. All you have to do is bring charcoal, something tasty. Strict rules apply in such places and must be adhered to without exception. No music, no noise, no dogs, so on. There's even a small kitchen with running water. Where you can wash dishes. Or just freshen up before continuing on. There are even toilets here. The pine grove itself is also a surprise for me. These are the last pines in Fuerteventura. The valley has its own specific climate and weather conditions. Anyone who was here years ago probably wouldn't recognize it much around here. In the extreme drought of 2017, the lush forest turned into this somewhat sad sight. We're slowly moving into the finale. The path continues on for only another kilometer along the last mountain ridge before we start to descend into the fertile valley toward our destination. Here, I was a bit taken aback by the truly very gusts of wind. Be sure to bring along something like a sweatshirt or a windbreaker, because the wind is so strong in some spots. I'm having trouble even keeping my balance. There it's Betancuria! This begs the question of why the capital was not established somewhere on the coast. There are several rational reasons for this. 1, it's not really all that far from the ocean. 2, the fertile center of the island ensured sufficient water. It's clear at first sight that the entire valley is green with plants. And finally, reason number 3, the surrounding hills provided natural protection against pirates. It was established in 1404 as the first settlement on the island by the said conqueror Jean de Betancourt, and he humbly named it after himself. The whole original name is Sante Mari de Betancuri. Today, it has been declared as a conservation zone. Betancuria is tiny, but it's by far the most extensive and most beautiful historical town in Fuerteventura. It, of course, offers countless numbers of cafes and restaurants, as well as a historical museum and the home of Jean de Betancourt. The most important, most impressive, and most colossal monument is the Church of Iglesia Santa Maria de Betancuria. It's the very first church built on the island. What we see around us is actually not the very first and original Betancuria. After being founded, it was plundered countless times. Some invasions by various bandits and, in the beginning, also by some dissatisfied Guanches, were able to be fought off. The most notable and bloodiest conflict occurred in 1593. A Berber pirate by the name of Arares and his entourage occupied the whole island for an entire 6 months. After they departed, not much remained that was still usable. For example, subsequent renovation of the church to its current likeness took the next 100 years. We should concede that the town is only really alive during the day, when it's full of tourists. If you come here in the early evening like we did, Betancuria is deserted and all the establishments are closed. We've gone from the second to the first, and we've learned a bit about the history of Fuerteventura. In the past, the natural conditions on the island were not very hospitable to its inhabitants, and we can now hardly imagine what their lives were like.